Hi, welcome to the AcousticVids.com podcast. I am here today with JD Webb, who is doing a residency at the Mint on the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st at 9:30 p.m., correct?
Yep.
And I'm so happy that you're here with us today, and we're going to hear a song to start us off, correct?
Yeah.
Excellent.
The first song that I'm going to play is a song called Hate December. And actually, it's a song that some songs take a while to write and you kind of toil with, and some songs kind of write themselves. And this is a song that pretty much wrote itself. I was in a recording session, and in the middle of the recording session, everybody was kind of tired and decided to take a break, and so they went to go get some coffee, and by the time they came back, I had this song written.
Wow.
So, and then it was like a fight over, oh, well, who gets to have this song? Is it one of the guys that's recording, or do I get it? You know, whatever. So,
I think you won.
Yeah, I did. So the song's called Hate December, and basically, the inspiration is December's my favorite time, my favorite month, because it's Christmas, it's my birthday. I'm from Hawaii, so I don't have to deal with the seasons changing, and it's not cold, it's still warm, but you get to celebrate the holidays, and it's just a really great time of love. And so the whole song is about being in a relationship and having amazing times, and it kind of going awry. And it's basically like, I've loved all these times throughout the year with you, don't make me hate December. So that's the inspiration.
Awesome, let's hear it.
So it leaves an imprint of your face. If I can't change your mind, could we just rewind to the first time I heard your name? If never is a lie, can you identify the hows, the whens, the wheres, the whys? Please clarify. Through April rain, our first kiss in May, June and July were the best of our lives. Even with August pain, we made September great. October and November made me love fall and me hate December. My calendar is becoming a hazy blur. Your memory could become a stain. Even this song keeps us living on. I can't foresee a daybreak without your face. Forever's worth a try, there's no way to deny. If you're falling out of love, can't you fall back in? Through April rain, our first kiss in May, June and July were the best of our lives. Even with all December. Oh no, no.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thanks.
It was really clever too.
Thanks.
So right off the bat, I just want to give the information out for the Mint. So if people
Great.
want to find out more about it, it's
Yeah.
at 6010 Pico Boulevard. You can get a hold of them at 323-954-9400. And their website is themintla.com. And also they can find out information on your MySpace page,
Yeah.
which is myspace.com/jdwebmusic.
Yeah, and you have to check it out because Melanie videotaped last week's show, so there's a clip on there last week, courtesy of Mel. So.
Yay, yay. So as I was researching for this interview, one thing that I noticed is that there actually is not a whole lot of information about you. I say based on the fact that I am assuming that you are not J.D. Webb, the wakeboarder, the mystery novelist, the bishop of a Kojic church, the lead singer of the bluegrass band Sugarfoot, or the noted physicist. Am I correct in assuming none of those are you?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, good, because this interview would be a lot longer if any or all of those were you. But one thing that I did notice is I saw a lot of message board postings of people saying like, oh, what happened to him? Like,
Yeah.
oh, he dropped out of sight. One person even used the phrase went into hiding. I saw a quote in a review that said, one of the few facts known about the enigmatic Webb, which knowing you is not a word that I would use to describe you.
Yeah, exactly.
But so you're kind of the subject of this mystery of music. What does that feel like?
Well, first of all, the reason I think is because when I was in the band Rays, we all went by our first names, and so it was always just JD, and then each person in the band. So I think because of that, then when I went by JD Webb, a lot of people were like, oh, where do we find him? What is his last name? Because we all just went by first names. So
Like the Mickey Mouse Club.
yeah, exactly. And it's kind of an unfortunate comparison, but maybe you were kind of close to that. Anyway, so but then after doing the gospel project that I did, I think people still, it was like trying to associate that and trying to find me and all of that. So enigmatic is an interesting choice of words. I'd say not on purpose, but it just kind of happened like that. And in a weird way, I think it gives me a great leg up because people are hearing me for the first time, a lot of people, so they're like, oh wow, this guy, and then it's also caused other people to search me out and go, hey, this is the same guy that I knew from this band,
Right.
this is the same guy from this gospel project, so even though this will be my third album, my third record deal, it's like a whole new world because it's really, it's my first solo project, it's the first time where it's all just me.
So hopefully the people that, the curious masses that have been out there wondering what's happened to you, this will help them catch up a little bit. But you have had one of the most kind of fascinating and almost bizarre lives and careers of anyone that I've ever encountered, like just with really intense ups and downs.
Really
and
intense ups and downs.
some of them have been really public, some not so much. So can you talk a little bit about what you feel comfortable sharing about what your
Sure.
journey's been like?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I joined a band called Rays on Forefront EMI Records, and I kind of came in right as the group was signing their record deal. So we started recording, and kind of instantly from the album release, we were instantly big. We started on a tour bus, which is rare for a lot of first-time bands. We were like our first time ever doing shows. We were in Celine Dion's tour bus. So. And our average venue was on the small side 2,000 people, on the large side 150,000 people.
Wow.
So a lot of festivals we were headlining 75,000 people a night. So it was kind of instantly huge overnight, and it was in the Christian music industry. So CCM radio, Christian Contemporary Music Radio, was kind of all about us, and our videos were like instantly went to #1. Our songs were #1. And so kind of at the whole height of that, I started seeing some things in the band that kind of went against who I was, morality-wise, what the things that I believed in. And so one of the members in the band, there were 4 of us, there was two guy lead singers and two girls, and one of the singers was having relations with our dancers in training, and who were like 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. So
okay.
yeah, not okay at all. Especially, not only is it not okay just in the world, but when you're supposed to be representing God, it's all the worst. So the moment that I found that out, I said, all right, I'm going to leave the band. And they asked me if I would stay if he left and got counseling, and it would just be the three of us. So for another few months, I continued the tour just so everything wouldn't fall apart.
Did the public know what was going on at that point?
No, actually, they kind of, we went through media training on how to kind of gloss over it, you know, all of that. So, which in itself, I was like, you know, there's kids that are hurting, you know, there's a lot of hurting people. And so it was just, you know, it challenged me in a lot of ways, you know, just how do I stand up for what I believe in? What is it that's my responsibility to say, you know, it had nothing to do with me, but I'm in a band that it had something to do with. So it was all just very crazy, and I spent a lot of time praying, talking to people that I love and care about, saying, what do I do? So anyway, he ended up coming back early, the other guy in the band, and I said, okay, well, if he's going to be on the stage, I'm leaving. So I left, and I moved out to California. Just
before we exit that part, just really quickly, what did you say when people said, like, where is he?
We had media training for it. Jamarc's taking some personal time.
Oh, okay. So you said nothing, basically.
Yeah, he needs to revamp. You know, we've been on the road a lot, so he's really tired. You know, just whatever.
Okay.
So all the things that we were told to do. I mean, but obviously it's very odd when you're a 4-person band.
Exactly.
And there's only 3 of us, and we're taking his parts, and you know, he had a very large role in our music. So all of a sudden I was taking the brunt of it all. So I moved out to California. We did our last show in December 31st, 2000. Actually, January 1st, 2000, December 31st, 1999.
Okay.
So
Y2K.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of all makes sense in the scheme of all this. Anyway, and so I move out here, and then a few months later I get a call from my attorney saying he was arrested on the opening night of their headlining tour. And so I was getting calls from like every magazine you could imagine, wanting my story, you know, wanting me to basically say, you know, dish the dirt. And there was a lot of things that I could have said, and probably a lot of things that I wanted to say, but I really felt like, you know what, everybody messes up, even though this is really extreme and really horrific, but you know, I'd really rather, if I make mistakes, I'd rather tell my own story. And so I just kind of said no comment, you know. I'd rather it be about, hey, what am I doing, what's going on with me, than like dishing the dirt on somebody else.
Yes.
Even though I'll be the first person to say it was disgusting, there were so many people hurting, and I was dumbfounded by the whole thing. So then comes the next project that I started working on. I started working with a church and became the music director for a church, and it kind of instantly snowballed. I was writing all the music. We got offered a record deal from Warner Brothers, so we started recording, did this CD, and right upon the release of the CD, Warner Brothers was really behind it, excited about backing it, promoting it. There were just a lot of major issues going on with the pastoral staff and how they were handling the money, what they wanted to do with it. I really felt like I was being taken advantage of, being stolen from, and so I left. And so it was right on the release of this CD. So it was like another time where I felt like I poured all this energy and all this love into making music, only to have people kind of pull the rug out from under me. So it was kind of at that point that I was like, you know what, it's time for me to do my solo project. It's time for me to have to, if anybody makes a mistake and anybody blows it, it's going to be me. And so I'll be responsible for my success. I'll be responsible if I'm the one that makes the mistake, but I never have to sit and apologize for what somebody else did.
Right.
So here we are now,
and
that's 3 years later, after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, just kind of going, how do you make the transition from this small Christian world into the mainstream world, and being a big fish in a small pond to this guy that has something to say and, you know, really wants to let my voice be heard in this huge ocean. And it just it's just taken a lot of work, a lot of walking, but it's been great, and every step of the journey's been awesome. Not always easy,
but amazing, and I've learned a lot. I'm so excited for the new music, and a lot of it's reflective of me. A lot of it just tells stories about, I do a lot of watching of other people and kind of tell their stories. So I'm really excited about the project.
So now transitioning from, now a lot of people that aren't really familiar with the Christian music niche don't realize like kind of how huge it actually is. Like that there's a lot, but mainstream music is a lot more well known, you know, a lot more people would be familiar with it. So is that what was behind the transition, or do you even consider it a transition? Do you just think of it all as just music?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, I'd always written love songs. I always had so much to say, and I just felt like I didn't want to have to limit myself to, I can only sing this type of music. I can only be in this genre. I'm pigeonholed as this. You know, there's absolutely a lot of songs that are inspirational in what I do now. But to me, it's easier to segue and to have songs about love, songs about friendship, songs about romance. I'm really, my music is, I'm on a mission to kind of bring romance back to music. And I feel like most of the time, guys don't treat girls or romance girls the way they should be romanced. And,
thank you.
And girls forget how to expect it. And I don't really feel like a lot of people are saying that. And so I want to let that voice be heard. And I feel like if I was only doing inspirational music, that there's this huge void that's on my heart that is left unsaid. So it doesn't at all change who I am, what I do. It's just another part of what I do. So a lot of people say, well, will you ever come back to doing gospel music? Well, absolutely. There'll be a day when I, you know, record another gospel album, you know, but I've got so much to say and I have so many songs that I don't want to limit any of it. So that's kind of it.
So you grew up in Hawaii, and I know that that's really important to you. So can you talk a little bit about how your heritage has influenced you or affects you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think being a white kid in music that's considered predominantly black, it's funny because I didn't even really realize that the kind of music that I was doing was quote unquote black music or black, you know, gospel, black soul, you know, whatever it is. Because my upbringing, I was the minority. I was like one of the only white kids growing up in a multiracial community, a multiracial school, and I loved every minute of it. I loved, even now being in California, I'll talk to friends of mine that are Filipino or Japanese or Chinese or Korean or Samoan, and a lot of times I know more about their culture than they do because I've spent all these birthday parties going to, you know, celebrating these ethnic holidays, and so I've embraced all of those cultures, and I think it's really made me who I am. You know, I went to a church where there was every kind of nationality, and the people that I always felt like could really sing just happened to have a lot darker skin than me. You know, and so I never even really conceptualized the whole, oh, we're different. You know, I always just, the only time I ever felt uncomfortable was when I was in a room full of a whole bunch of white people, because it was just completely foreign to me. So anyway, I kind of, from the time I was little, got the nickname White Chocolate, because I'd sing with all the gospel singers, you know, and I was just the light-skinned one. So I think just that whole culture has, you know, really influenced me. And it was what, I think the beautiful thing is growing up in Hawaii, it's what I gravitated towards. And since we're such a melting pot, no one ever said, oh, well, you can't do that kind of music because of this, or you shouldn't do this because of this. There really were no limits. And it wasn't really until I moved to Nashville that I even understood the whole, like, oh, this race and this race and this race. It just made no sense to me. And I think it's the most beautiful ignorance, you know, and if I'd love to be able to remain that ignorant my whole life and to be able to impart that when I have kids, you know, that we're all the same.
So you are resident songwriter for Days of Our Lives, which is kind of like a gig that I had never heard of before, but it's kind of like the coolest thing ever. So what does that actually entail? How did that come about?
Well, basically, I was on a quest for a new manager. I just parted ways from my management team, and my attorneys called me up and they said, "Hey, we'd really like for you to meet with this manager. Would you be up for it? We think he's a really great guy." So I said, "Sure." So we meet for lunch, and he came to one of my shows, and he's like, "Wow, like I just hear this like amazing soul coming from this white kid, and I don't know what to do with you." So he's like, "You know, I do pop and rock, and so I don't even know like how I would do this. So it's not for me, but I do know this. I do know this great composer for Days of Our Lives that I'd love to get you in touch with. And I said, oh, that'd be great. So the composer from Days of Our Lives and I met, and he said, I'm trying to get a pool of writers, like maybe 15 writers that I write with on a regular basis that just contribute to the show, because we're trying to bring a lot of original material. So I said, well, great. So I started submitting songs to him and just letting him hear kind of what I do. And then over the next few times that we'd talk, he'd go, you know, I think maybe I'll have 10, you and like maybe 9 or and then he'd say like, maybe you and 5 other people. And so then like next time we talked, he was like, you know, how about just you? How about if you just write the songs?
14 people didn't make the cut.
I guess so. So it's just a great relationship. You know, he'll call me up and say, you know, there's this scene coming up. We need a song kind of in this vein. And so it's all, I co-write all the songs with the composer, Brent Nelson. And it's just a really great thing. You know, it's cool to be able to, I haven't really written before with a topic in mind where somebody says, write about this.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been the complete opposite. I'll get the inspiration and then I'll write. So it was a really cool way to like stretch myself and express myself completely differently.
Yeah. Has that kind of sparked things that wouldn't have come up otherwise?
You know what? I don't know. I think I'm so busy writing all the time, and since I write all the time, who knows what sparks what? But it's just another outlet. And It's great.
So the last part of the interview is actually my favorite part, and a lot of people really enjoy it. And I originally called it the lightning round. I think I'm going to change that because it makes people think they have to answer the questions quick, and that's not what it is. But it's 10 questions that I ask the same 10 questions to every artist that's on the podcast.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, should I be afraid?
Maybe. What's the last number on your dialed calls list?
Ooh, I would have to look and see. Should I
Go ahead, yeah.
I don't know where my phone is.
You just turned it. You turned the ringer off. Where did you put it?
I did. You know what? Let me think.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it was to my mom.
Really?
Yeah. I talk to my mom and my sister pretty much every day.
Nice.
Except now my sister's in town for the residency, so I get to see her in person every day.
So your sister sings kind of good too, right? A little bit.
She's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like the white Aretha Franklin.
Nice.
Yeah.
You said we might get to hear her on Tuesday, right?
You know what? Probably not this Tuesday, but I'm gonna work something out for like either the Tuesday after that or maybe the last Tuesday. So.
Sweet. Well, I'm definitely gonna tape it, so people that follow the website will be able to see it.
She's out of this world, really. And then even if she wasn't my sister, I would say the exact same thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who was your first crush?
Oh wow! My first crush was in kindergarten, and her name was Boots Hauser. I don't know.
My God, that's the best name I've ever heard.
I don't know if her first name really was Boots, but that's what everybody called her, Boots Hauser. And my family still teases me to this day about it because I was in kindergarten and they said that she ate pecans all the time, and so she would always have pecans in her teeth. And she was like in her 70s and she couldn't see very well, so she would wear like really bright red lipstick.
This was not another kindergarten girl? You
no, it was my teacher.
Grandma?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess I should have said that. So yeah. So she would like put her red lipstick on like kind of all over her face. And I was...
Sorry, just got so much better.
I know, isn't it crazy? Of course, only me. So she would like, I didn't even know this at the time, but my family still tells me it. They talk about this all the time, that if you forgot your lunch at our school, it's too bad you had to go hungry, but if I forgot my lunch, she would make me something.
Aww.
And like, I always got the lead roles in the plays, or like, I got extra nap time. So it was because, and they said it was because all the time I would walk up to her and I would go, Mrs. Hauser, you're beautiful. And like,
oh my God.
I really thought she was beautiful because she was so sweet to me and she was so nice to me. So I would either say she was either my first crush or my aunt, my mom's youngest sister, because I just always thought she was the coolest girl in the world. And again, in kindergarten, I don't know what it was about kindergarten, but she would come and pick me up every day.
It was your awakening.
I guess so. She would buy me ice cream, take me to get ice cream every day. So either she was my favorite, or she was my first crush, or my teacher, but they happened kind of simultaneously.
Aww.
So
you know what? I think that story actually says a lot about you because it shows that you see the inside of people.
Yeah. Well, good.
That's very cool. What's your favorite restaurant?
Here?
Anywhere.
Oh wow. see, now that's a loaded question because I have a whole bunch of them. Here, it's a restaurant called Sutbuljip. It's a Korean restaurant, and you get to cook your own Korean food. And Korean,
oh, the little barbecue in the middle of the table? Nice.
Korean food is my favorite. My favorite fast food is in Hawaii called Yummy's Korean Barbecue. Again, Korean. And wow, probably my favorite restaurant is a restaurant in Maui called Pai, where I had the best fish that I've ever had in my whole life.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite website? MySpace doesn't count.
My favorite website? I would say Acoustic Vids.
Oh, that doesn't count either.
Oh man, I know what I'm gonna do. My favorite website.
Are you not a big web guy?
No, I mean, I would, as lame as it sounds, probably Billboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm always checking out the stats and seeing, what's doing well, what's coming up. So.
Awesome. What's the last movie that you saw?
I went to see Little Miss Sunshine again.
Oh my God, I love that movie. I told you about that movie, right? Yes.
That's why I went.
Oh,
so
nice.
I went with
so good.
my friend and keyboardist Will, because he hadn't seen it, so I went to see it for the second time.
Love that movie.
And it was us. It was just yesterday, and it was us, and I'd say the person next closest to our age was like 70. So they were like, I don't know if they just took them from the rest home in a van and brought them to the movie theater, but they were like, I'm not even kidding, in their wheelchairs with their blankets.
Oh my God, JD, did it bring you back to kindergarten?
It was like Mrs. Hauser all over again. I was in love.
What book are you reading right now?
I'm not a big reader, so I would say
Don't tell that to an English teacher, man.
Because here's why. Here's why. I think I have ADD. I think the reason is because every time I start to read a book, I start writing a song, and so I can't ever finish it. So I would say the only book that I'm really reading right now is the Bible.
I sound like such a
good boy.
You're like, I limit myself.
No, it's not like that. I just don't read a lot.
And I don't believe influences are good.
See, people are gonna get this whole different idea of me.
What CD is in the player in your car right now?
Oh wow. Okay, well I usually use my iPod, so I put it on rotate. So there's a few. It's old school Jodeci.
Nice.
I love Jodeci.
Come and talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I would say them, Marvin Gaye, and a guy that just played with us last week, Justin Young.
Yes.
So
he's great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tape him tomorrow and put him up on the site.
Are you really? Good. He's awesome. So
yes,
I listen.
Fantastic.
I listen to in the chill mood whenever I'm just wanting to just relax, maybe have a glass of wine, have candles. He's the perfect music.
Sweet. Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, he's great. Light a candle, get in the bath, just music. Yeah, he's fantastic.
So total plug for you, Justin.
So that kind of leads into the next question, which is what kind of iPod do you have?
60 gig. Does that answer the question? It's
not a video iPod?
No.
It's not a video. Oh.
I know, and it's because I have so much music in there. I'm okay, do I just go ahead and get the 60 video, and then I'm scared, what happens if a new one comes out that's even better?
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for the 120, because I hear they're working on the 120.
Exactly. So hold out.
And just a little plug for the site, too, that on the pages of the performance video clips, there's actually a link for downloading them in MP4 format for your video iPod. So
perfect.
Yeah, you can download the performance clips and put them straight on your iPod without having to convert them.
Nice.
I did all that work for you. Wow. What was your first job?
Oh no! My first job was modeling.
Oh my God! Shut up! Are you serious?
God, that's terrible. That's terrible.
What did you model for?
Anything and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I was singing. I was doing a concert at Center Stage, Ala Moana. So if anybody knows Hawaii, Ala Moana is it's the largest outdoor shopping mall in the world. So
wow.
I was in this contest when I was 13, sang at a mall, and there was a modeling agent there, and I was like, hey, can you?
So have you ever had a day job?
I have. I think I've had two. I've had two.
What were
Actually, I've had three. Let's see. I worked. this sounds terrible too.
Oh my
You're revealing
God.
like all these ugly things. I worked at a store called McInerney when I was 16. It's a clothing store. I rotated between the Ralph Lauren section and the OP section. They had just like their own like little swimwear, surfwear. I worked for a newspaper in Hawaii.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I was a waiter for 3 weeks, and I was the worst waiter in the whole wide world.
Did you spill anything?
No, what my problem was is I would find tables that I really liked, and I would just, like, they'd love me, I'd sit at the table, and then I'd totally, forget other tables that I had, and so, and, I worked at...
And they're, getting your phone number before they leave.
It was really bad.
He's a boy. All these grandmas are, kissing you on the cheek.
It was ridiculous. And so, and they had at this restaurant, they had fry, broil, and pantry, and, you had to know what food went in which one, and sometimes it would be all three, sometimes it would be two. I never got it. I was like, I don't know, is this broil? So I would I'd get in trouble because I'd put all three every time. And I'd be like, this isn't pantry! So after 3 weeks, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, when you work in food service, you don't want to take off the kitchen staff too.
Yeah.
They're the people you do not want to get on the bad side.
And it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's really
now,
hard.
when I go to restaurants, I just have mad respect because that is a really hard job.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you have a huge menu. You have to memorize all that. Forget about it.
What would you be doing right now if you were not a musician?
Wow, there really isn't anything else. Music is what I live, breathe, eat, and sleep. So always for me, there hasn't been a backup plan. There hasn't been a safety net. So, there's lots of things that I want to do outside of performing and outside of writing, in the publishing world and in basically teaching young people about music. So it all involves music, but I think there's a lot of great things in the world, and I think there's a lot of things in the world that need to be changed, especially musically. And I think it's harder and harder nowadays for kids to, not just to be a musician, but to really understand the history of music and amazing artists and what it is to really be a true musician.
So JD, if this is the first that people are really seeing of you, and now they're like, I gotta find out more, where can they find out more? How can they support you if they're like, I'm a new fan, I want to get into this guy's music? What can they do?
Right. Well, come to the Mint if you're in LA. We're recording the album now. I'm doing pre-production for the album now. So keep an eye out for it. It's going to be released at the beginning of next year. Tell your friends.
Yes.
And then check out MySpace because we're always updating something. You get to hear new songs, and I'm actually pretty good about responding. So if you send me a message, I'll get back to you if there's a song that you really wanted to hear. And I'm going to really try to put more things on the page and find different things on YouTube and whatnot where you can hear different songs. And so.
Cool. So I want to give out the information about the Mint again, in case people are more interested now than they were before. It's the 17th, the 24th, the 31st, 9:30 p.m., $7 cover. I don't think I said that before. 6010 Pico Boulevard, and their website is themintla, all one word, .com. Their phone number is 323-954-9400. Oh, and one thing about the Mint that people should know too is if you don't want to have to stand in the back the whole time, you can make a reservation for dinner and then you get a table. So that's something interesting to know. And the phone number again is 323-954-9400. Call that number if you would like to make a reservation. Thank you so much for being here today. This was
Mel.
awesome.
You're awesome.
Are you going to play us out?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
This is a song you'll hear this week at the Mint.
Sweet.
So, this is the more unplugged version.
It's feeling like a bad day. Everything that could go wrong is going that way. And I can't believe all the things that you said to me. I'm standing sympathy. But I swear to God, you'd have to lock me up before I'd walk away and simply give up. 'Cause you mean too much to me to leave without a remedy. So I finally take a step back and I look where we lost track. 'Cause it don't make no sense. So can you tell me where we went wrong, baby? Show me how we can make it right. Give me something to hold on to before it all falls apart. Baby, don't you let go. Just hold on, girl, hold on. Baby, don't you give up. Just be strong, girl, be strong. Baby, don't you let go. Just hold on, girl, hold on. Don't give up.